Hello and welcome back to Joe's NBA Podcast. Today we have an extra long podcast as I didn't have one of these yesterday, so let's get right into the first topic of the day. Today's first topic is about the NBA trade deadline. So the four trades that I'm going to be talking about today is Marc Gasol to the Raptors, Nikola Mirotic to the Bucks, Markelle Fultz to the Magic, and Tobias Harris to Philadelphia. So about the Marc Gasol trade, I think that it's not the best trade for the Raptors, as probably Kawhi will be leaving in the off-season, as it's basically like what he was doing in the Spurs. He's not in a big market. He's still balling out, but I don't know if they're going to be able to win much this season. They could be winning, getting all the way to the finals, but we don't know. And then on to Nikola Mirotic to the Bucks. I think that's a great trade for them because they could be looking at like a really good playoff run, as Nikola Mirotic is exactly what they needed. They needed more three-point shooters to surround Giannis because he really needs three-point shooters around him. He's like LeBron and Ben Simmons. They all need three-point shooters around him, and he's like one of those players. So that's a great trade for the Bucks. And then Markelle Fultz to the Magic. I think it's a great trade for Markelle himself, as it's kind of like a new start in a smaller city, obviously. So he might be able to revive his career right there without all the spotlight on him. And then Tobias Harris to Philadelphia. This just shows how much of a run Philadelphia is this season, because Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler can both leave in the offseason right now. So it's all or nothing for them this season. So we're really going to have to see what happens with all those teams when it comes to the playoffs. So on to our second topic of the day, we have the NBA Weekly Pick'em. I chose two games from this next coming week, and I'm deciding to choose which one I think they're going to win. On Tuesday, we have Boston versus Philly, and I'm going to say Philly is going to win that one with their new core of four really good players with Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and of course Joel Embiid. But they also have people like JJ Redick and a ton of good pieces for them. So I think Philadelphia's going to come out on top after Kyrie Irving I think he left the game yesterday with a small injury. I don't know what's going to be happening there. Hopefully he plays. Hopefully that's a great game to watch. Then on Wednesday we have Portland versus Golden State. I'm going to have Golden State winning that, obviously. But Portland could be winning it with a new piece. I forgot who they traded for, but I know they traded away Nick Stauskas. Oh no, it was Rodney Hood they traded for. That was it. And then, so I think Golden State's going to win that because they have 5 previous All-Stars on their team, so how wouldn't they be able to win that? On to the third topic, we're going to have our second one of these. It's best stats each night of the week. On Monday, we had Giannis with 30, 15, and 9 in a win versus the Nets. On Tuesday, we had Tobias Harris with 34, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game winner versus the Hornets. That was a crazy game. And then after that, he just got traded. That was crazy. And then on Wednesday, we have another Giannis with 43, 6, and 4. Man was on a tear this week. And on Thursday, the Raptors got a win versus the Hawks with Spicy P leading the way. Pascal Siakam with 33 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists without Kawhi Leonard even playing. That's impressive. And then on Friday, we have Giannis once again with 29 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 assists. So more about Giannis's Monday game. That was a really good effort by him to beat the Nets. I mean, it is the Nets. But they do now have an all-star in D'Angelo Russell, who my Lakers team traded away for basically Lonzo Ball and nothing. But, actually, no, we got Kyle Kuzma from that too. Can't forget that draft pick. And then for Tobias Harris, he had that game winner and an insane win for the Clippers. But then, I think it was the next morning, just traded, just gone. Yeah, that's got to be weird. After hitting a game winner the night before, just getting traded, And then Giannis again with 43 points in a win versus the Wizards. I mean, it's the Wizards. They're pretty much tanking, I guess. Like, they were tanking at the beginning of the year. I mean, they're pretty good. They're one of those, no man's land, I guess you could say. But Giannis still putting up 43, 6, and 4. That's insane. And then we have Pascal Siakam, who had a great game and led his team without Kawhi Leonard. And also, Fred VanVleet, I think, had 30 points that game. That's insane. And then, again, Friday, Giannis, 29 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists. Just insane. That's what he does. That's Giannis. He could be the MVP this season. We don't know. On to our fourth topic of the day. It's going to be, what team is the best in the East? After, I think, the top 3 teams in the East all made big moves this week in the trade deadline. Like Marc Gasol to the Raptors, that could help them win a ton of games, but he's also old, so we don't know what's going to happen really there. I think that's kind of a bad trade for them, as I said before in the first topic. So I really don't know what's going to be happening there. That could end up being a great trade for them. Never know. Then we have Nikola Mirotic to the Bucks. Well, in the Bucks now. And really, we don't know what's going to be happening there since Giannis is just on an MVP tear. And then we have Chris Middleton, who's also an all-star. And now Nikola Mirotic, who's a great three-point shooter and has been balling this season for the Pelicans after he got traded now. And then, Philly, I think, might have the best odds to beat the East right now. Because they have 4 really, really good players. 3 previous All-Stars, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Jimmy Butler. And then they'll have a ton of good role players off their bench to just, fill them up. And then we have Boston, who was looking to trade for AD, but didn't get him. So they're going to try and trade for him in the offseason, obviously. And then, we don't know. The Lakers might trade for him too, but they might try. We don't know what's going to happen with Anthony Davis in the offseason. So, that's my thinking on what team's the best in the East. So, on to the fifth and final topic of today. I told you guys we had an extra topic. It's going to be, what happened with Anthony Davis? Because he asked for a trade in late January. We didn't get a trade for him. Nobody did. I think what happened with the Pelicans is they wanted to have the best offer, but then when it came down to the end, it's they couldn't get anybody for him. And then I think the day after the day after the trade deadline, they decided to sit him the entire fourth quarter because they're tanking right now. They're trying to go for someone like R.J. Barrett or Zion Williamson. So we don't that was crazy because the Lakers were basically offering every single person on their team except LeBron. And even I think there was a trade with LeBron that we could have done. Potentially just LeBron for Anthony Davis straight up. And then with Boston, who was trying to trade for him, actually they couldn't even trade for him because there was a rule. I forgot what the rule was, but they just couldn't trade for him. So we were the only team that really had a shot, and now we don't know what's going to happen in the offseason because now the Celtics probably have the best odds to get him because of all their assets that are better, I think, than the Lakers' assets. So, really, it's weird that Anthony Davis, the guy who was drafted by the Pelicans, and basically said that he was going to make this team his own, and then he asked for a trade after they've been losing this whole time. It's kind of like what Kawhi did last year. Because he said, I want to be a Spur for life. And then a few months later, he just said, no, I want to trade. It's really weird to think about with Anthony Davis. Imagine Anthony Davis, one of the best players in the league, being on a different team. That's going to be so weird if he does get traded in the offseason. Or if he doesn't and he leaves in 2 years in free agency. So we don't know. Thank you guys for watching Joe's NBA Podcast, Episode 3. Really hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really sorry that I couldn't get one out yesterday, but we're going to be coming back with probably 2 next week. We're going to see what happens with the NBA Weekly Pick'em. We're going to come back with the best stats each night of the week, and we're going to have a whole new topics to talk about. Can't talk right now. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.